Hello everyone and welcome to the second round of the Formula SimRacing Pro Series. I'm Jonny Simon, I'm alongside Jong here. We're here at the Sepang circuit in Malaysia after a terrific race in Bahrain. Can't wait to get going again in Malaysia. This track sees the drivers go around 15 turns, 5.5 kilometers in Malaysia, and after Jaakko, Bojov and Go Speed show the greatest pace around the Middle Eastern desert, with the likes of maybe Renz Klopp, even Hiran Quick, who unfortunately is absent today. But will anyone else be able to challenge Bojov in his increasingly fast pace? Chris, how do you think this championship battle will shape up, and do you think it's early days, or has Bojov pretty much going to sprint away?
No, it's too early to make a judgment about that, I believe. I'm pretty curious to see what Renz Klopp will make of this race, since he had the qualify problem last race. So I'm sure he is eager to prove himself this time around. And well, I think it's good to take a look at the championship after 3 or 4 races and things have spread out a bit. But for now, let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Klopp. He seems to be in qualifying this time. Last round he wasn't. I believe he's on track now, which is good. So he won't have to start from the back of the grid. And he did a terrific job to go from last place to final point, or in 10th spot.
He did, and he showed some driving skills there. And I'm sure if he gets a better place on the grid, because remember, overtaking is so much harder now than last year. If he gets a better qualify spot on the grid, I'm sure he will turn some heads today.
We've also got, I think, Jonathan Holmes did a terrific job as well. And Alessio Campos, don't forget, he's third in the championship. He's up there as well.
He is, but at the moment he is not in the server. I believe he has an internet issue. A lot of internet issues today. Yesterday we saw Mo Patel, who disconnected just before the race, and we have had a lot of drivers with some issues. So let's hope Alessio can connect, because a third place in the championship is not something someone wants to waste, is it?
No, of course not. In the championship, at the moment, we've got Bojov in the lead. Behind him's Hiran Quick, who's not here today. I think he's on holiday.
I have to correct you on that. In the championship, yeah. Because at the moment, let's talk a bit on the times, how it's going. Daniel Brewer is showing some pace with the first 34 of this session, 34.7 to be exact, and Boshoven 5/10 behind that on 35.2. Do you think drivers might take it easy in the earlier parts of qualifier, to not show the back of their tongues and wait for Q2 to release their full potential?
It could be the case. At the same time, it's not worth it, simply because there's a lot of traffic, and if you take it easy on one lap, you could never get a clean lap ever again. So you've got to take advantage of the space that you've got.
Indeed.
And produce the goods.
And we already see how close it is at this moment. Guglielmo Matti on 7th place with a 35.510. 8th place Hernandez with 35.512. And Parlington with 35.514. So that's 3 drivers in 4 thousandths of a second here.
Yeah, and also Q1 as well. So unlimited laps, free setup, no parc ferme. Drivers are free to push, and let's go on board with Jaakko Bojov as he comes across the penultimate straight. Remember, there's 15 turns around this track. It's going across the second DRS in the final. Chris, talk us through an onboard lap with Bojov as he tackles through the undulatory challenge that Malaysia is.
Let's do that. He's taking a wide line through the last corner to gain that extra bit of top speed for the straight. And here he goes across start finish for the lap. So coming up to the straight, he's well above the 310 kph there. Has a nice turn into turn 1. Has a slight moment there, but manages a great exit. Now let's see if he can put the hammer down here in sector 1. What will his time be? 24.8, so that's his personal best at this moment in the first sector. Up to the left-hander and the fast right-hander takes those beautifully. Let's see if he can maintain the pace here. Has to lift a bit to the double right-hander, but wouldn't make too much of a difference. Now it's not locking up in the hairpin here, really important. On to the end of sector 2. Let's see what he can do. 30.5, so he's well under his time here. If he manages to keep on to this pace, I'm sure he will take first spot at this moment. He has a great exit and in third gear as well, not second gear, so his momentum on this straight is gigantic. Let's see if he can make this stick. Last corner. Finds himself a nice braking spot. Doesn't find the apex. Let's see what his time will be. It's a 34.9. Oh, excuse me, 34.703. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
P1 for Berger, terrific lap. In the meantime, I think Jonathan Holmes went to second. Berger pushed him down to third. Mikko Swakos as well. He's in fourth up there. Behind him is Adrian Falcon. Got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Lots of drivers still have a great chance of making a top 10 to go through to Q2.
Yeah, who do you think is jumping out at this moment?
I think, Ren's Klopp, I think in the meantime has gone P1. That's a 34.5. What a terrific time, Ren's Klopp. So that's what we're missing from him. It might be... Berger's still in the pits. I'm not sure if he will go out once again. Klopp seems to have a second go at it. Daniel Brewer as well. He, I'm not sure if he was there in Bahrain, but he's showing some great pace for Avid Chronic.
Yeah, and Guglielmo Matti should go out, but he's still in the pit box, taking a huge risk there because he's momentarily on the 9th place. He got 2 tenths to spare on the number 11 George Winter, but there is going to be a heck of a battle for that Q2 spot here.
Yeah, and it seems it's too late for Guglielmo Matti and Adrian Falcon. They've stayed in the pits. 4th and 9th place for 4th for Falcon and 9th for Matti, and they both need to get lucky now. More Matti than Falcon.
So let's see how the rest of the pack is going with that. If Mike Paddington can hang on that 10th place, he's coming onto the straight now for one more flyer. So remember, he has still an attempt to go. George Winter is in his fast lap, I believe, at the moment.
It's a bit of the pace. I think it's about 3 tenths of his personal best. So he doesn't look like he's going to improve unless he has a super final sector.
And Ivanov here.
He's starting his lap.
He's starting his lap indeed.
So goes down to turn 1. Nice braking, nice, and good momentum through the corner. And down to turn 2.
And Rens Klopp with a 34.5, showing tremendous pace in here. If we look at the lap charts on the official fastest lap charts of the FSR website compared to the different classes of Ace and already the times that are shown up from the World Championship drivers, it's really promising for Rens Klopp.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to bother completing this lap that he's on now. Looking at who else has a chance at a lot of drivers starting the lap outside the top 10, so lots of chance. I think Ivanov's been blocked, so he's definitely out. I'm just watching that. I'm not sure if that was a slow car or whether they were on their lap as well. Winter's having another go as well, so he's doing he started a new lap, but he's still off the pace.
Nah, and he quits the lap. He's in the grass and it's over and out for George Winter. He gave his best shot, but at the moment Mike Parlington seems to be safe in the 10th spot. Let's see if he can improve. Mike cannot improve, but he's still safe at number 10.
And someone we've forgotten, our pole sitter last round, Christoph Schor, he's just entered the server and he'll have to start dead last after his failure to qualify.
Yeah, let's see how he can handle with it. And yet another connection failure, and well, let's see what he can do. Last week it was Rens Klopp. Let's hope we won't continue this trend. Next week it will be Jorik Boshover starting from the last place, for example. But at this moment,
hopefully.
Rens Klopp has done a 34.4, so in the last lap he went even faster. He's really eager to show himself. Jorik Boshover on second place, the Brewer on third place, and the pack is really close together. We're gonna see an awesome fight for the pole position.
Awesome fight. Rando Tam just crossed the line, but improved on his time, but he stays P14. So our top 10's locked in. That's Klopp, Bojov, Brewer, Falcon, Hernandez, Holmes, Swoker, Sebastiano Filosa, a new driver for the Venus Project Racing, Guglielmino Marti, and then Mike Partington, who will be able to take this shootout in Q2. Parc Ferme rules. Can't wait to get going in just 1 minute time, I'm assuming.
Indeed, and let's see who will go out on track first. It's always yeah, not literally a risk, but it's always a bit tense going out on track first. You don't know what the other strategy of what the strategies of other drivers will be, and well, let's see if everybody will start on the medium compound. Obviously, we have the medium and the hard compound for this race, so let's see who will start on medium.
Yep, 34 lap race, so you're looking at, as normal, one stop, which should be the way to go if you can get that, if you can manage the tyres well. And medium, qualifying those, you're looking at pit around lap 12 to 14 and finishing the race on the orange branded hard tyres. Q2's getting underway. Yeah,
indeed, but that's right what you said. It should be done in one pit stop, but that's the beauty of racing. It should never go one way. There will always be fights, people who will lock up, and definitely in FSR where we have seen some spectacular racing already in the early parts of the season. So let's see if we can get a show here. I hear the sound of an engine. Who is going out on track? It is not anyone out of the top 10.
Yeah, I think there might be someone's gone out by accident in P18. I don't think they're allowed to. We'll see if there'll be a penalty for that or not. That's Jordi.
But this is definitely not how things are going, because he's not in the top 10. Makes me a bit confused though.
Yeah.
For a moment there, I thought, well, who did we miss in Q1? But Jordi certainly didn't make the cut, so he's already putting his car alongside the track and quitting the lap.
Alright, so I think Adrian Falcon's now gone onto the track. So remember, Q2, it's 5-minute session. You only get one hot lap and one go to stuff it up, and you're down the order. So you really have to make this count. Let's go with Adrian Falcon now. As got to warm the tyres, but don't scrub them too hard. It's a very long lap around Malaysia. You want them to last as well, last them and grip a lot for that hot lap. Because Swokos has gone out as well from P7.
You will take the tire wear from the Q2 towards the beginning of the race. So with a massive lockup, you can easily use 5 or maybe even 10% over one lap of your tires, which will compromise your early race. So it's really using your head, and you really have to use your head much more than you had to last year with the tires, at least.
Yeah, smart driving. You look at Adrian Falcon now; he's coasting his brains out with that. Klopp and Bojov are on the track as well. Pretty much the 2 or the 3 with Daniel Brewer, who I reckon will compete for pole. But anything can happen, as we saw in Bahrain with Christoph Schor. And remember, you're starting with your setup you're going to use in the race. So if you had a brake duct of 1 for Q1 and then you switch to a brake duct, let's say 3 or 4, you're going to have to struggle with cooler brakes.
It is, but I don't think we will see that high amount of brake ducts here. But Falcon is going on a lap. You wanna take us through for the early parts of the lap?
So starting through the lap, it's first DRS zone. The driver opens that flap in his rear wing to give a straight line advantage. He'll go through to about 315 kilometers an hour before he brakes, gear 2, cambered into the corner, and then it dips down for 2. Have to really make sure the springs are set up as it's very bumpy, flat through turn 3. And turn 4 is quite the opposite
sector will be
turn 2.
His first sector time is a 25.0, so definitely showing pace in that early part. The Rens Klopp now coming on to the back straight and is looking for his first and only flying lap of this session. Let's keep an eye on Klopp.
Falcon's gone off, so Falcon's lap is pretty much gone to dirt, and I think he went wide through. I think it was turn 6. Can't remember the turn, but one of those.
That's really unfortunate for him. Rens Klopp either going into the first right-hander and trying to aim for that 24.9 in sector 1. Let's see if he can do it. Showing some good speed on the straights. He has a 25.080, so very nice first sector. Let's see if he can keep it together.
Bojov's done a 24.9, so he's right up there as well to take pole.
He is. Oh, this is gonna be a tense battle here.
So Falcon 35.9, that's way off the pace.
Yeah,
see what Klopp, Bojov and Brewer can do.
Yeah, this is really getting tense now. Klopp with a 30.6 through the second sector. Let's see how Boshoven can follow this with a 30.5. Boshoven showing the edge, but the laps aren't done yet.
Look who's looking good. That's Mikko Swarkos who's coming across the line now. Which time will he do? That's a 35.0. That's not bad for Q2.
Certainly not bad. Jorik Boshoven losing out on the last corner. Compromises his exit. What will this time be? Boshoven jumping to a 34.8. Wow, that's
terrific.
A terrific lap. And the Rens Klopp trying to beat that time. Here he comes. 34.890, loses out with on 88 thousandths of a second. What a close fight this is as Hernandez works his way up to 4th spot.
Here's Brewer across the line. I think he might take pole. No, he's only P5. He's made a mistake.
He made an unfortunate mistake, and there's still Sebastian Velosa, although I don't see any sector times of him at this moment. Guglielmo Matti with a 24.7 in sector 1. What are we seeing here? What will his sector 2 be?
So he's aiming for a 30.5 for a second sector. Comes across now, it's a 30.9, that's 4 tenths off.
So he gains a little bit on the first sector and he loses a bit out on the middle sector. That shows of a lower downforce setup than the other guys who are at the top at this moment. Let's see if he can get his advantage back on these straights. He obviously has the DRS now.
Look at his top speed as he comes to the final corner. He's about 315, that's not bad.
No, he has a nice apex here, but he's late on the throttle. Let's see what he can do here. Guglielmo Matti for faster than speed. Going to 9th position. He lost out in the last sector with a 41.0. Lost well over 1.5 seconds there. Definitely frustrated and right to be so. Was looking at an awesome lap.
And Filoso goes P9 at the end, so it bumps Matti to P10. And I think there was two PSR cars that went out in that session that weren't meant to, and they're going to get a back of the grid penalty. It's Jordi San Andres and I think Jose Dominguez. So it's unfortunate for that, but well done to Jorik Bojov.
Yeah, well done for
looking
him.
to defend that win.
And obviously the PSR guys should have known they shouldn't have gone out on track in Q2. So the race director Carlos Martin making the decision to put the PSR cars on the back of the grid. We also had another back of the grid today. I believe it is Clayton Nelms. Christoph Schroer, who obviously missed qualify, has to start on the back of the grid. So that will be 4 drivers that will be lined up on the back already.
Any reason as to why Nelmis was at the back? Was that the penalty for last round?
I believe there was something there. I don't know the whereabouts of it, but there were some problems, and that he has to start on the back of the grid. Obviously, no admin decision will be based on pure rubbish to put someone on the back of the grid. Either way, we're going into the warm-up now. We have about 5 or 10 minutes to get started here. It's interesting to see or to watch the times during the warm-up. What drivers will aim for strategy, you know?
Yeah, if you're on the mediums, or looking at about into the 36s is what I assume Bojov will be on about 130 litres of fuel you'll need for this 60% race, which is 34 laps. Same as race 1 for Ace.
Yeah, Velosa starting on the harder compound, the only driver in Q2 who chose to go too hard.
I must have missed that. That's why he qualified in P9, so not bad for the solo tire.
Yeah, and I wondered what Matti's lap time would have been, but would have been. That's always guessing work. But it's I'm really curious at the start, and let's keep an eye out on Velosa, how his strategy will hang on.
There was I think it was Guglielmo Matti. He's got fast straight line speed, but it's an illusion at this track. You think you need a lot of straight line speed because of those long straights, but turns out that higher downforce does help through the twisty sections.
Yeah, of course it does help, and as a driver, you always try. Sorry, I'm not coming out of my words. You are always try to make the best compromise between downforce and between top speed. And in here, you can absolutely choose to gain a little bit of top speed to make overtaking easier, but you will lose out on the middle sectors. So, yeah.
I think let's go on board with Renz Klopp now. I'd like to see his race pace. He's obviously starting on the medium tyre, qualified P2, and he is coming down towards turn 9. Very easy to lock up turn 9. Got a bit of a downhill braking zone. The front loads a hell of a lot through there.
Yeah, and you can see he has a hard time following the car in front of him because of the dirty air. And he actually has to lift through this corner, and he can't make it. That's purely the dirty air that's causing this.
Yeah, it's the car of Viktor Ivanov in front. Even though it's warm-up, not going to let anyone through. Test everyone out. P1 to P last, or whatever. The last place is 25 runners today.
Yeah. And we got a little bit of warm-up racing going on here between Renz Klopp. Well, let's see what his top speed is. Renz Klopp is on his race setup, going 303 kph, so that's a nice top speed.
Nice top speed for the track. I think yesterday I was hitting around 315, 319 with DRS, so I was running a very low wing, which didn't help. I was struggling a lot with setup, so he's running a good setup. Nice downforce, helps through the corners.
Now let's see, obviously Mikko Soukas finds himself in a third spot and is aiming for that podium, and it is his right to do so. I'm hoping he can surprise everyone in the paddock. But we have a nice top 10 lined up for the race.
Very nice stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunate that Heron Kuikul isn't here, because he would have added to that battle. Nicely slotted in very well within the times. Nice to see Daniel Brewer doing a good job, showing some great pace for Abercrombie. Reminding you that the tyres for the round got the medium compound. That's branded by the white stripe, and the hards by the orange. Obviously mediums are softer than the hards. Pit stops, as I said, around lap 10 to 14 you're looking at the pit window for a 1 stop. 2 stop you're looking around lap 7 to 9.
Yeah, around those numbers. Clayton Nelms with a 38.5 on the medium compound is showing some good pace here. He's if he's going to start on the medium tire, he obviously has to make his stint work by passing a lot of guys in front of him who are starting on the harder compound. But there's always that risk that you are stuck behind someone and your stint goes up into smoke, you know, and literally because your tires are burned up.
Yeah, and that's key, is that straight away you've got a back of the grid penalty. The first thing that you're going to do is set up for a bit of low wing, set up that first gear for a great launch using launch control off the line, and you can jump a heap of spots. That's what Clayton Nelmes has to make sure he's done when he set up this car throughout testing.
Indeed, and in a position on the back of the grid, it's indeed better to have a slightly lower downforce setup, so you can create a bigger window for overtaking on the straights. We saw in real Formula 1 Vettel do this when he started out of the pits in Abu Dhabi and claiming a podium spot, obviously with a superior Red Bull, but. Well, Clayton Nelms shown he is near the pace of the top guys, but we saw his tires wore off last race pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're expecting him to pretty much challenge for the win, but he had a good strategy, just couldn't make it work, couldn't make the tires last.
Indeed.
Renz Klopp has done some great times. Jordi San Andreas gone P1 in warm-up.
Yeah, he has.
I'm not sure if that's the same fuel load, because he wasn't showing the pace in qualifying, but that's a good promise there.
Yeah, that's certainly is so. Okay, we are getting ready for the warm-up lap here, I believe so. And it's interesting to see what will happen at the start. I really don't hope we will see a carnage like we saw yesterday.
No, definitely not. That was not carnage. You're gonna have to open up a new word in the dictionary for that. That was crazy. But look at the championship battle for now. That's Bojov in first. He's on 50 points with that terrific win in Bahrain. Kuikel second. Unfortunately not here. He won't be able to defend that podium for Go Speed Pro Engineering. Alessio Campos third, followed by Holmes, Adrian Falcon, Mike Partington. Christoph Schor is there as well. Hernandez, Swokos, and then Renz Klopp. That terrific drive from the back of the grid for 10th spot. In the constructors, Go Speed first, Go Speed Pro Engineering second, essentially the same team, but pretty much a sister team there. Twisters third, Crown 7 Netrex fourth, Faster Than Speed is in fifth. So it's early days, but the championship's wide open for anyone.
Indeed. And we have a great absent today on the track, which is Crown 7 Netrex Alessio Campos with a disconnect problem, or at least a problem with his internet connection, and Tuomas Correale, who had to skip this race, unfortunate. So no Netrex on track today, but I'm curious to see what the other teams can do. Origin Racing is looking strong.
Yeah, great job by Origin. I think Christoph Schor has left the server once again. Klopp, watching Renz Klopp starts as well. His gear seems very high. I think he's starting as a P2, so he might get swamped off the start if that's the case. But if Schor seems to have the same problems that Putel had yesterday, and he might not be able to race, unfortunately, for that.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see at the start what first gear ratio the drivers will be. The start will be immensely important, and we saw last week, 2 weeks ago already, that you can easily lose and gain places at the start of the race just by setting up a good launch control.
Yeah, for example, I won't talk about myself too much, but yesterday's race I had my first gear set up pretty well, and a lot of guys didn't. And I passed about 3 or 4 cars in before the first corner.
Yeah, so let's see how these guys have mapped their first gear settings.
Yeah, hopefully they've done a great job of that and tested it out well. Sorkus out early on the grid. I think you want to go out with about 5 or 10 seconds to go to make sure the engine doesn't overheat too much.
And the tires cool down as well. And that's also something. If you are in first position, you are obviously the guy who has the coldest tires at the end of the warm-up laps when the lights go on. Let's see, let's hope for Yorick and Rens that the gap between the last guys isn't too much, because waiting for 40 seconds on the grid is not something that's preferable.
No, it's not in a big grid of 25 cars. It's more than Formula 1 these days, so drivers have to make sure that they concentrate. Sometimes you'll see in your R-Factor track map, or if you're running the little horizontal bar at the bottom, if there's a gap somewhere, you have to make sure to slow down so that those drivers don't pull yourself too much.
I see Viktor Ivanov is standing in the pits, so he won't be competing.
Yeah, not sure why. He seems to have just missed the start, I think.
Yeah, he is certainly at his wheel, since he was just using the chat. We are getting lined up for the second round of the FSR Pro Championship this year, and what has started, it has been already. Interesting now to see Rens Klopp up in the pack, and like I said earlier before, he will be eager to show what he's worth, and obviously he has shown a lot of potential through the races he has done in FSR since I believe 2012, and he's certainly a title contender. Let's see if he can jump Boshoff at the start.
Yeah, he's back where he should be. Let's run down the grid. We have Chris Knight in last place, starting from last. That's 25th. Clayton Nelmes in 24th for Venus Project Racing, followed, or in front of him, is Eric Lader. Then it's Ryan Winsper in 22nd, Jose Dominguez 21st, DeWald Nell in 20th, Andrew Ford 19th, Jordi San Andreas Salvador, he's in 18th. There's a bit of contact.
Yeah,
Jordi
25th. Jordi crashed on the formation lap.
Oh, so unfortunately he's going to have to start from the pits because his rear wing's gone. Don't want to repair that and start with damage. But let's quickly round out the rest of the grid.
That's DeWald Nell. DeWald Nell going, I'm sorry for my words, but as a lunatic through the field.
Oh, is that on the replay?
Yep, that is on the replay. DeWald Nell showing that, but we have to go to the start of the race now. The lights are going on.
So that's Bojov who will start from first. Can he defend that lead in Bahrain? We have San Andreas is pitting, and I think the lights are on now. Or has someone got their launch control on? No, sorry. Had someone do the pit, so we're waiting now for the lights.
A lot of confusion here at the start of the race by an accident, and at the warm-up lap. The chaos here is already complete. And now the drivers are currently standing still on the grid. The lights are going on though, here we go. There's 4 lights, and we're off.
Oh, Klopp seems to have got away well. He had a high first gear, but he's well.
He has gotten away well. Yorick Boshoff is still in the lead though. Here we go to turn 1. Ooh, and Holmes on the outside line there, making up a lot of positions, having a great start there.
Clean start by all the drivers. I think Klopp's taken the lead, so great job from him.
Yeah, so no contact in the first corner. That's really a nice thing to say. And Guglielmo Matti fighting for that 9th spot. A lot of tense battle already early in this race. And Rens Klopp took first place of Yorick Boshoff.
No major position changes other than that first place by Rens Klopp. We thought he had a high first gear, but it seems not, because he's in the lead. Bojov's in 2nd, Swerkos 3rd, Hernandez 4th, Holmes 5th, so no real major changes as I said. Daniel Brewer's, I think, dropped down to 10th, so he's had a terrible start.
Yeah, and Rens Klopp already creating a gap towards Boshoff here. He might have heard me when I said he wants to prove himself. He is showing amazing pace with a 1.5 second gap already towards Boshoff. Suoka's following Boshoff as it is.
in the slipstream. He's got a nice little run. Let's see how his run goes off the final corner. He might be able to make a move here. No DRS yet. It's not activated.
After 2 laps, of course, indeed.
Yeah, he's in the toe. I think he's too far back. He definitely needs the DRS to make a move. But it looks promising for Sworkos if he can keep this up for the next couple of laps. Bojov's definitely struggling. His Klopp's pulling away by a hell of a big distance there.
Yeah, and let's see if Rens can continue with setting this early pace. Obviously, there's a quick drop off from the performance of the tire, but let's see how he manages.
Yeah, someone else I'm looking forward to as well is Daniel Brewer. He's had a terrible start. He's going to have to make his way through the field. He's dropped Jorg Winter in 11, so the top 10 seem to be in their own little race at the moment.
Yeah, and the little train is gathering around P6 towards P11. So that's nice to see a lot of drivers battling each other out there for the higher positions. Jonathan Holmes edging up towards Carlos Hernandez there. He will be looking for a move on the back straight here.
Hopefully he's quite far back. Well, hopefully, remember, no, the DRS isn't activated yet, is it? But Holmes has some good race pace, so I'm looking forward to this. I think Hernandez runs a bit wide, slightly locks up, but he gets a great exit.
Yeah, and Rens Klopp now already 2.1 seconds away from second place Jorik Boshoven. Let's see what the gap will be at the crossing of start finish. Because this is getting immense, 2.6 seconds now. Klopp is edging out 5 to 6 tenths a sector now on Boshoven. Amazing stuff here.
Ridiculous by Rens Klopp. I mean, if only he qualified in Bahrain, he would have been up there taking the lead, and now he's showing everyone that he was the man there. But unfortunate that he didn't qualify. He's here again. He's showing his worth. He's proving how good he is. It's 2.5 now at the gap.
Yeah, and Mikko Sjokas still following Jorik Boshoven closely. So it's nice to see that it wasn't just a spurt or a surprise in the qualifier for Sjokas. He definitely is going in a higher gear than 2 weeks ago. Carlos Hernandez following Sjokas closely, and behind that they're starting to get a gap towards Holmes and the rest of the pack. But it's, like I said, a close top 10 fighting for the positions.
Nice little battle as well. Good to see a good clean start. Something that definitely we as ace drivers need to learn and make sure that we can do next round. I think Sjokas is, just as you said, that he's showing some promise. He might be slightly dropping back. It's 1.1 seconds to Bojov, so he's out of the DRS zone when that's activated once Rens Klopp passes the start-finish line to start the third lap of the race.
Yeah, and we will see a lot of drivers hitting that DRS button in the top 10, except Sjokas and Hernandez. But the 5 drivers behind that can all make use of DRS because they're within a second of each other if it stays like this. So that will have a nice effect. And Guglielmo Matting now charging up the field, trying to look for that first corner gap, but the door is getting close by Sebastian Velosa, and it was his right to do so.
Very, very close. He braked late. Remember, Velosa's on that orange branded hard tyre, about 1 second a lap slower than that white branded medium.
Yeah, but Matti looking strong on the straights, like we said in the qualifier with the fast top speed.
And it's unfortunate for Daniel Brewer because he's got a lot of pace, but he's stuck behind Matti, so he's going to have to wait for Matti to get past Velosa, and then he's going to have to make his own move. So he's going to have to try and find a way to get himself back up the front to where he should be. He showed a lot of pace throughout qualifying and practice.
Indeed, and Clayton Nelms now from the back of the grid, already up to 14th spot, so he made a terrific start there. Out of 25 drivers, he's already on 14th and is looking on the inside of Cordell Cahill at this moment. And he's here to take the spot, and Cahill leaves him enough space to do so. Obviously don't want to contest with Nelms to lose more time on his stint.
No point to passing a slower car there.
back to the pack here. A lot of people driving with DRS now. Adrian and Falcon taking a look on the inside of Jonathan Holmes, but only taking a look. Maybe with a good exit here, Falcon can show some aggression towards Jonathan. But the gap is too large, I believe.
Hernandez is showing some good pressure on Swerkus. Almost goes into the back of that rear wing. He's tucked in right behind him, very nicely behind him. But it's not time to go to sleep. It's time to make that move done, so we can chase Bojov and Klopp up the front before he pulls away.
And like you said earlier, there's now a gap being created between Boshoven and Suokas right now. It's 1.5 seconds, so Suokas won't have any DRS on the straights. Hernandez will get DRS if he stays within this margin between him and Suokas. So I'm sure we will get some action in a few seconds.
Yeah, and this is nice. It's mixing up the race pretty well because you really need to manage those tyres, and when you're stuck behind someone else in the dirty air, you're not managing the tyres. The car's overheating, you're sliding around a lot more, and you have to really make sure you get past as soon as you can to get some clean track ahead of you.
Indeed. Yeah, it takes a lot of skill to manage the tires here, and general a lot of skill to drive in the top of any FSR race. Let's see how we get in here on the back straight.
Hernandez, I think Hernandez might have a good move set up on Swerkus. They're coming around the last corner now. He's pretty close.
Yeah, let's go on board with Hernandez. What can he make of this straight? He didn't have the best of exits, and he might get under pressure by Holmes. Nah, it stays like this. The gaps are too big.
Looks slightly promising, a lot bigger than the lap before.
Yeah, and the winner out of this pack, although it's not showing already, is Sebastian Velosa, if he can hang on to this pace, because his tires will degrade less than the medium compound, of course, if he can manage it, and he still has the advantage of the medium compound later in the race. So if he can if he can maintain this pace, he will definitely show a surprise.
He's 10 seconds from the lead. That's Ren's Klopp. It's about 25 seconds for a pit stop. He wants to be around 25 to 30 seconds, and he'll be on a faster tyre in that last stint.
But he's 6 seconds away from Boshoven, so the margins are really close here. And very at this moment, Jonathan Holmes is putting pressure on Hernandez with only a 4/10 gap. And I'm sure Suokas, Hernandez and Holmes will have a tough fight for that last podium place. Still, almost 6 laps have gone through this race. It's very early to talk about podiums, but we have a fight on our hands here.
Yeah, and it's looking good. Jonathan Holmes looks like he could have another solid outing for him. It's still early days, but we'll see. He's 4th in the championship, remember, and Campos and Kuikul aren't racing, so essentially he's the second best out there today.
Yeah, he already had a great start and made up for a lot of places. I believe he made 2 places, so that's really good for him. Matti now showing some great top speed, but not able to close the gap enough to make a move on Velosa. And Velosa still looking strong. Looking
good for the Venus Project Racing at the moment. That's Clayton Nelmes started from the back. He's already in 12th, and Velosa's on the hard tyres in 8th, 11.5 seconds from the lead. Terrific job by them so far. And Nelmes, if we can just take him on board with Nelmes, he's pressuring James Sadler, who improved a lot during the last weeks for 11th spot. But through this corner here, it's impossible with the dirty air to make a move stick. He just has to wait for the back straight to make this move stick, or maybe with a good exit through this corner. That turn 5 and 6, the tyres scrub a lot. You really need to make sure you don't slide around, because then your car will go slower and slower each lap as the tyres degrade. He's pretty close to Sadler, but not close enough. He'll have to wait to the DRS zone. Sadler has a big moment, and he's going to have a good run on him, but Sadler manages to save it. He's right onto the back of the gearbox. Up the inside, oh, very close. Nice room there, nice racing room. Nelmes will be around the outside now for the penultimate corner. Sadler gets compromised by taking an early entry.
And
Nelmes
that's
has
great
the
racing from James Sadler. Great line he chose through there, forcing Clayton to follow him. And it was his right to do so. He had the racing line. Clayton here looking for a better exit on the straight, and Sadler outbraking himself. Take us through this.
So he's right out, but he's going to have DRS. Nelmes, but he braked way too early for that last corner.
Both the drivers were a bit nervous through there. Yeah. Okay, let's get back on the top of the pack. Mikko Suokas is getting pressured by Hernandez at this stage, and Jonathan Holmes easily following. He's seriously trying to look if Suokas and Hernandez can force each other into a mistake to be the laughing third guy to take both places.
Make sure that you manage your tyres and be that laughing third guy. It works out. Two guys in front of you will make contact.
Holmes is on the grass. He was on the grass with two tires, and he's getting on. Adrian Falcon trying to take 5th place from Holmes, but Holmes is defending great. Oh, Falcon now eager to take that spot. He knows Holmes just made a mistake, and if he can keep the pressure up to Jonathan, he might take 5th place.
Yeah, they're each going to have that in their minds. You know, Holmes is under pressure, and I think Falcon, knows that. So he's going to have to keep providing that and showing Holmes that it's not easy to be in front of you, Adrian Falcon. What can he do now as we come to the last corner? He seems pretty close, but we'll see if he gets a good run. Holmes seems to get another good run, so that it's the same as usual for each driver. So it's very difficult to pass.
Yeah, the FTS cars look really difficult to pass. I think they have around the highest top speed at the moment. Although Hernandez is putting some pressure onto turn 1 to the back of Mikko Suokas.
Oh, Brewer goes on the inside of Guglielmino Matti for 9th. So Matti's struggling behind Filoso, couldn't make a move stick.
Matti seemed to have a problem there into turn 1. Was really going slow there.
He's lost a lot. He's lost about 2-3 seconds in the sequence of one sector. So I'm not sure whether he got into a dirty line and slipped a bit, but he's lost a heap of time. Yeah, and Nelmes has passed Sadler as well for 11th spot.
He has indeed.
And remember last race we had Go Speed. 3 of them in the top 5. Now we have Twister taking that on, having 3 Twister cars in the top 5. Bojov 2nd for Go Speed, and Mikko Suokas 3rd, 4 faster than speed. So Matti went wide, I believe, again, and he's I'm not sure whether he's locked up and he's flat spotted those tires. Maybe he has some sort of issue we don't know about, but he's definitely struggling a lot.
Yeah, it seemed already like he had an issue into the first sector, but I hope my fears will not be realized. At this moment, Rens Klopp has a steady gap of 5.2 seconds towards 2nd place Jorrit Boshoven, and manages to keep that gap. Boshoven on his move has 2.5 seconds over Mikko Suokas, so a bit of gaps appearing there now. And Carlos Hernandez still eager to follow Suokas for the 3rd spot. But Holmes is seeming to just wait and play the waiting game and make the best out of his tires.
He did run wide, so hopefully his tires aren't too badly damaged. I would like to know if Klopp is pushing or he's genuinely got that pace and he can manage those tires. Remember, one stop is the way to go for strategy here. If you've got the pace, it's the fastest way to win this race, I believe. And if Holmes is managing those tyres, he's doing a good job so far.
Yeah, the last lap time of Klopp was 6/10 faster than Boshoven, so let's keep an eye on that. Okay, let's see how this is going. Velosa still in 8th place, showing great pace, and only 9 seconds out of Boshoven. I'm keeping us reminded that we have to take an eye out on Velosa if he can make this stint work, and if he pits around lap 18-19, he will have a great opportunity for even a podium. Because there is a great gap between the performance from the medium tire and the hard compound.
He's doing a great job, and those Venus Project racing cars are showing that they can mix it up with strategy and make it an interesting race. It was Nelmes last time who started on the harder, or the medium compound, which was the harder of the two in Bahrain. Now it's Velosa showing that.
And I want to make a prediction here. I think Jorik Boshoven will be the first to pit out of the top 10. I think Boshoven will pit between 1 or 2 laps from now. He's the first to go into the 140s out of the top 5. So he's definitely struggling there. I think we will see him in the pit really soon. Because he's losing out on the Klopp now with seconds. Klopp, his last lap was a staggering 39.2. And for Boshoven it was 40.1, so that's 9/10 over 1 lap.
Yeah, and it was the same for Swokas. He gained 9/10 on Bojov. He's going to put the pressure on. He's 1.5 seconds behind. So let's see if Swokas can take second from Bojov. Unexpected. I thought Bojov would be fighting for the lead here.
Yeah, Klopp is just showing how it should be done. Obviously, he's the number one. It's his right to say that. But Swokas now is suddenly seeing Boshoven coming up to him and is thinking, hey, I might get a chance at second place here. But Boshoven isn't going to pit. Let's see what his lap time will be around this time. It's yet another 40.1, and compared to Klopp, that's yet again 0.8 of a second he drops. And also to Swokas, who is gaining half a second by putting on 39.6 on the clocks.
Yeah, he'll have to pit now, and if Bojov does pit now, he will get the undercut of the hard tyre. It will be faster, but he's going to have to make it last 23 laps. And
that's the issue he is facing. So even if he was in clear air the entire race, basically, he's having some graining right now.
So we have Sadler in for the first pit stop of the race. Into the pit window, we're looking at 12 to 14. He's pitted early, and he'll put on the hard tyres, I presume. Or I think he's put on the medium.
Then he might go for a two-stopper. It's still interesting to see who will stop first out of the top 10. Adrian Falcon now is definitely taking a look at Jonathan Holmes, and he will have a nice try going out on the back straight. Parlington, steady in 7th position, can make use out of the fact that the guys in front of him are in the dirty air of each other, and maybe even to close the gap as he spins. Mike Parlington spins, manages to keep the car on the roads, but Velosa coming onto him on the straight with the DRS as well. Can Velosa take this place?
I don't think he switched it on.
Or he wasn't in the detection point. He wasn't in the detection point. It was my bad.
And Partington pulls to the fit. So just as we were talking about, he's been very discreet this race, doing a good job. He was in 7th. He pulls into the pits, and there's someone else who's pitted as well. But I think that was a lapped car, maybe? No, not in the top 10.
And after the first lap, the first 2 laps, the top 6 is basically unchanged. We are seeing some really close racing here, and drivers that are really taking the best out of each other.
Yeah, let's run down.
But Falcon now with a lot of heat in those tires. You could see him slipping away. And Boshoven now, what can he do? Boshoven back into the 39s after 3 laps of consecutive 140s. So maybe he has found a second life in his tires. I definitely hope so for him.
Yeah, this lap's unfortunately much. He's 0.6. He's into the 40s again. I think he might have to be pushing hard for a pit stop now, maybe in lap 12. We'll see. He's coming around the penultimate corner. Will he pull into the pits? Klopp's last corner now. He's comfortably in the lead. I think Klopp's pitting as well. Klopp's coming into the pits.
Let's see what the reaction is from Boshoven.
Klopp keeps going.
Boshoven is going in. Rens Klopp was really taking it slow to not get a drive-through on the pit limiter. Klopp is putting on the hard tires, and I think he is going for the next 21 laps for a steady cruise to the finish. Let's see if he gets caught up in traffic though.
Slots in 6th position. Klopp, it's working out. That's perfect for him, isn't it? Great racing.
It is. And now is behind Velosa on the same tire, but obviously Velosa started on those hard tires. Coming up now to Carlos Hernandez, who suddenly finds himself, because of that pit stop, in 3rd position, and Mikko Suokas in 2nd. It's not showing any sign of fatigue, this battle. It just keeps going on, and after the pit stops we will see what strategy will be the winner of this battle, at least.
Yeah, what a cracking race. And I think in the meantime Daniel Brewer's pitted. He's been frustrated behind Velosa all race. He's put on the hard tyres. If he gets that undercut, remember Velosa will be on the medium compound in the 2nd stint.
Yeah, but I'll bet my money on it that Yorick will go into the pits now. It wouldn't be good to not follow Rens Klopp, because at this moment Boshoven will definitely do 140.5 if he continues, and he is going to the pit, so it doesn't matter what I...
Suarez follows as well.
Yep, he's following as well.
So does Hernandez. Holmes though continues. Holmes will take the lead. Klopp is right onto the back of Velosa as well. I think he's passed him before the DRS zone. Flicks on the DRS. He'll have him if he's got the straight line speed, I think. But Velosa seems to have the straight speed. They almost touch. Oh,
they almost touch indeed. Velosa on the inside here. Rens on the outside.
Oh, more contact. Velosa loses it slightly, but he catches the car just before it spins around. Klopp gets that position. Dirty racing, but good racing. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, dirty wasn't the right word, but it was tense. Let's put it like that. Obviously, as 2 racing drivers, you have 2 egos, and sometimes they collide in between the corners, because you don't want to lose any position. Okay, Yorick Boshoven now onto the hard tire, as is Adrian Falcon behind him. Clayton Nelms still on the medium tire where he started on in 6th position. So he is definitely going a lot longer on the medium tires than the top guys. The question is, will it be in his advantage?
Needs to pit now because Falcon passed him too easily on the harder compound, and now Mikko Suokas is putting a lot of pressure on.
And Jonathan Holmes needs to pit as well. His last lap was a 41.1, so if he continues he will lose 2 seconds this last lap.
Oh, let's see. And that's Chris Knight. He's a lap down, but Suokas right onto the back of Nelmes now. Remember, he's on 15 lap warning.
Going for the inside.
Nelmes runs wide.
Nelmes losing 2 spots, finds himself on the grass, 3 spots actually. Nelms, you have to pit now. It's over with those tires.
He does, and Hernandez in the meantime looks up the inside of Suokas, very close. He's going to have the DRS on him though. Can he make the move stick into turn 1? Does he have the straight line speed? I think so.
Yeah,
Suokas
he will
have to defend. He does. That's Holmes coming out of the pits as well. Very late braking for Carlos Hernandez. I think he might have the inside into turn 2 and take that position, so well done.
So Suokas lost a lot this last pit stop, and the guy who is laughing now is Jonathan Holmes, who was behind Suokas before the pit stops. Remember, Suokas was in 3rd position and Holmes in 5th. But there's still drivers that need to pit, like Velosa, who's still running steady as a 2nd place driver at this moment on the hard tires he started on.
And it's looking good for Filosa, I think. He's losing a lot of time now, but he might pit within about lap 20 to run 14 laps on those mediums. Could run it longer because he's going to have low fuel, so the mediums will last longer as they won't be scrubbing a lot from the heavier weight of a heavier fuel load.
Yeah, Clayton Nelms finally pitted as well and is back on the road in 12th spot with hard tires. Yeah, what to say about it? 40 seconds down on the lead. Remember, he started in last place, but he has still a big gap to the top 10 now. So maybe if he pitted earlier, he wouldn't have lost so much time.
Yeah, Sadler did pit earlier. He undercutted Nelmes, because remember, Nelmes did pass him, but Sadler's going to have to make those tyres last a while. Remember, I think he might be two stopping because he's on the mediums again. He has to stop again.
And we have to take an eye out on Filosa now, because Filosa is taking a huge risk by staying out. He's doing 42.0 now, while Boshoven on fresher tires, remember the same compound but fresher tires, are doing 38.3. So losing 4 seconds in one lap isn't really worth it.
Definitely not worth it as well. So, I think Daniel Brewer's gone up the inside of Partington into turn 1. So he's making a move through the field. He's in 8th. He should be a lot higher, remember, so he's on the charge right now.
Yeah, Partington driving a steady race and showing some good performance here. Did have that moment earlier on in the race, but recovered from that pretty well. Still in a top 10 spot. And Andrew Ford just pitted and is going back onto the circuit with hard tires.
And
almost
Zaharov pits as well.
The right line, but
Zaharov and Dominguez both pit as well behind him. Did he cross that white line? I didn't see.
No, almost. He didn't, but he was near.
We have 22 runners still in the field. I think DeWald Nell's first to retire in 25th, and Jordi San Andreas, Ryan Winster as well, both DNFs.
And now there's a battle between Filosa and Boshoven. Jorik Boshoven with still better conditioned tires easily goes past Filosa, who's now doing 42.5s. So he's really not doing a wise job by staying out. He just lost 4.5 seconds to Jonathan Holmes. Yeah, those are the numbers. Adrian Falcon finds himself on the grass a little bit, and Jonathan Holmes is eager to close those few seconds. And Falcon on the grass again. Is he having a problem at this moment, or is it just dirty air?
Dirty air, and they're both pushing hard. I saw Holmes being very aggressive on the curb. He's pushing it. He wants that final podium spot, and he's right up to the back of this battle.
Yeah, but Filosa is out of the race. If he pits now, he will come back on the track near Clayton Nelms in the 11th spot. So he's definitely out of the race. And Adrian Falcon seriously under pressure there from the dirty air. And Holmes eager to close up. Let's go on board with Jonathan Holmes. Will he be close enough to make a move stick?
I think he might. He's up the inside of Filosa now. He turns in. He gets it done. I think Filosa's pitting.
He is pitting. He's finally pitting, and let's see where he rejoins the track. But his race, is kind of over considering top 10 terms. Jonathan Holmes not stopping with this aggression, and is eager to gain that place from Adrian Falcon.
Remember, Jonathan Holmes is our man who's fourth in the championship, essentially the second best out here today. So he's showing that he is up there. He's there every race.
He's aiming for the podium here. And Carlos Hernandez still behind him. Suokas following in 6th spot. Brewer now closing up to that pack in 7th, and Mike Partington in 8th. And Filosa now back on track in 10th place with medium tires, but with a gap of 38 seconds to the lead and 25 seconds toward any podium view. So 25 seconds in 16 laps. Well, will it be impossible? I don't know.
It will be possible, but it's going to be hard. I'll tell you that. He's in front of his teammate Clayton Nelmis now on the harder tyres. So I'm not sure whether both of them will help each other fight through the field. But it's pretty much broken even for Filosa. We thought maybe he'd jump up maybe 5-6 positions. He's ended up essentially where he started.
Yeah. Now, if we could go on board with Jonathan Holmes, can he make use of the DRS and jump Adrian Falcon? But Adrian Falcon is having DRS of himself. Falcon is not showing a defensive line, as the back marker is letting the guys in front of him pass, and he's doing so quite good. Ooh,
Have to wait till
yeah, he has to wait a long time. Then again, 1 lap down in 19 laps, not their fault.
And Holmes needs to wait across the whole lap to get another DRS, and he got unlucky that Falcon got DRS there behind Zaharov. And but he's getting very close now to the back of Falcon.
Yeah, but it's fair to say that Jonathan Holmes at this moment has the better edge of the two between Falcon and him on these tires. Falcon already showed he had some problems by getting off the road a tiny bit on 2 or 3 occasions, and Jonathan putting pressure on his gearbox all the time. Yeah, and another moment from Falcon, another slight moment.
I was just about to mention that. I'm watching Holmes and I'm watching Falcon in front of him. Holmes is much smoother, he's not sliding around. Watch Falcon in front of him, you see white smoke, he's sliding, locking up, he's doing a lot of tyre work, and that's not going to help in the long run.
Yeah, let's see what his top speed will be, but they're evenly matched, even though Holmes has DRS. Holmes now trying to get the better exit and gets on the throttle earlier, and he does so brilliantly. We're gonna see a move here. Here we go, Jonathan Holmes onto the Adrian Falcon, goes to the outside line. Falcon defending the inside, but pushing him on the outside as well. Can he make this move stick? Falcon on the inside, closing the door a bit too hard on Holmes, but leaving enough space, let's put it like that. But he maintains the place. Hard fought battle, but fair.
He could make a move down into turn 4, no he can't. But he ran wide into him when he braked way too late, got onto the rubbery marbled line. And he's going to have to do that again next lap and try it for another move.
And the driver who is watching this show from the first row is Carlos Hernandez, who's saying to them, like, please fight with each other, you know.
Also to mention, I think Georg Winters retired from 12th place. He was going pretty well, and unfortunately he's out.
Damage.
He won't get the 10 points of finishing 90% of the race. Remember, the top 10 get increased points, but if you do finish as a classified finisher, you still get 10 points. So important to make sure you're consistent and finish each race, whether you got damage or whether you're challenging for the lead.
Indeed. Now Rens Klopp with an 11-second advantage over Jorrit Boshoven, in control of this race. I don't see Rens Klopp losing 11 seconds in the upcoming 12 laps, and he's looking really steady for a victory.
Oh, Holmes on the back of Falcon. Falcon defends up the inside. It's closer this time. Brakes very late. I think he's run wide again. Oh, he's almost on the grass. Yes, he is.
Holmes is off. Holmes is off.
He's lost that position to Hernandez and another one to Swokas. Oh, yeah. It's unfortunate. Oh no, Jonathan, come on. That was unfortunate. He had such a great race until then.
Yeah, but he has a lot of time to make up for it. And Hernandez now saying to himself, okay, this is my chance. Now I have to push towards Falcon for a podium spot.
It's his turn to try. Will he watch and see the mistake that Holmes made? And won't break as late, hopefully, into turn 1. But Falcon is struggling already. I can watch from Hernandez on board. Falcon's sliding around, as I was saying before. And I'm not sure whether he'll make the rest of this race on this set of tyres. But you're right to say that Hernandez does have to take advantage of the opportunity presented to him now.
Yeah, and I wasn't right to say earlier that Velosa might be out of the contenders for the big points, because he's currently only 7 seconds behind of Boshoven, showing incredible pace with 13 of 12 and a half laps to go. So I have to take back my words on that. Let's see what he can do. He's closing in really fast now, putting on lap times of 38s.
We're on board now with Hernandez. He didn't get the best of run out of the last corner, but he's got the DRS. It looks a bit far back on Falcon. He might be able to dive bomb into turn 1. Almost does, but Falcon keeps that position again. Great job from Adrian Falcon. We mustn't forget he's under heaps of pressure, and he's keeping that 3rd position, that final podium spot.
Yeah, and it was kind of, well, I don't know if weird is the correct formulation, but to see that he wasn't showing a defensive line, Falcon. He was just saying, well, I leave this door open and you better not dive me here. You just stick to the line.
Showing great confidence by just opening that line and showing that it's not going to be easy to pass him.
Yeah, Carlos is not getting this for free. And Holmes is still steady following Suokas, but he might had a major lockup while going off track and ruined his left front tire. Either way, Daniel Brewer is having a great opportunity for a better classification here, because he suddenly finds himself on the back of Holmes.
Yeah, as we said, Daniel Brewer, poor start, went to 10th after lap 1, dropped a heap of positions, trying to make up for it now, and he's got a good opportunity because there's a train of cars, a good battle coming up. And I've got to mention as well, Velosa is 4 seconds from Guglielmo Matti in 9th. So catching him is one thing, passing him another. Let's see if he can do that.
Indeed so, and
don't forget Partington in 8th. Discreet race as usual, but he's doing a good job, consistent.
He is. And Holmes closing in into Suoka, but going wide again into turn 1. I think Holmes is having a tire problem at the moment.
He must have slid around, or even maybe flat spotted him slightly with that mistake at turn 1 when he went onto the gravel.
Yeah, might as well been the case.
The tyres are, funnily enough, like an ex-girlfriend. Treat them badly and they're not going to forget. So,
indeed.
Certainly need to. Yeah.
Daniel Brewer now showing some good pace, and is showing faster lap times than the 2 guys in front of him. So he's gonna challenge for a spot here. And well, I think the first 2 spots on the podium are pretty much decided if nothing fancy is going on in the next lap for them. I'm sure Klopp can maintain the gap to Boshoven, and Boshoven can maintain the gap towards Falcon. But Falcon is finding himself under pressure of Hernandez still. As Mike Paddington retires with suspension problems, so unfortunate for him.
No, he's made a mistake at turn 7 and 8. Oh, he's got onto the power and the car's oversteered.
As Carlos Hernandez on the straight, sorry to interrupt you, mate, but at the straight, Carlos Hernandez is trying to make a move on Adrian Falcon. Adrian Falcon going defensive on the inside, but going back onto the outside. Carlos trying to get the outside line, which will be automatically turned into inside line, but there is no room there. Great defending there from Falcon, but it's not over yet.
Definitely not over. Turn 4's coming up, but Hernandez seems to be a bit behind. He won't be able to make the move stick. Turn 4 seems slow, but you can carry a lot of speed into that corner because it's off camber.
Yeah, and you saw again Adrian Falcon having a twitchy moment there on the exit, and Carlos having to lift here because of the dirty air, which is immense.
And good news for Clayton Nelmes. He's into the final increased points position in 10th from Mike Partington's retirement. Not sure why Partington retired. It seemed he could have continued and gotten maybe 10 points at least, but otherwise other reasons probably showing that he couldn't.
And Velosa actually showing steady lap times now and trying to overtake the faster than speed car of Guglielmo Matti.
It's good to see as well that we've only got 5 retirements, still 20 runners left in this field, and that could help that the new build in Factor 2 recently improved the collision algorithm between each car, so it's much easier to race side by side. Obviously it didn't work yesterday,
but there will definitely
today it's worked a lot.
There will definitely be some words spoken of the incident that took place on the warm-up lap, because that was absolutely ridiculous what happened there. At this moment there's still a heavy battle going on for the podium spot. 2 drivers fighting each other lap by lap, and Carlos Hernandez trying to put a lot of pressure on Falcon by letting him know, I'm looking at your inside, but Falcon is not giving into that.
At the same time, we thought Brewer might be in that podium battle you're speaking about, but he's dropped off slightly, so he's had the quali pace. Maybe not so much with the race pace, unless he's made a mistake. He might prove me wrong, but he has fallen back by about 2 seconds to those in front.
What would be wise for him if he would just the next couple of laps take it slow and save his tires as good as possible, and try to get the rest of the laps in the race to work in favor for him. But at this moment he finds himself stuck behind a back marker, which isn't fortunate.
It won't help managing the tyres at all with that dirty end. Also, the gap between Klopp and Virgil at the front I've been watching for a while now is consistently staying at 11.6 seconds.
Suokas is looking on the inside of Carlos Hernandez, but Hernandez isn't moving an inch. And
he's got a good run, DRS.
He has. And the top speed
here
of FDS is showing. He's already passed him on the inside. Can he make this room stick, or can Carlos can come back underneath? Ooh,
no, he does.
That's
Contact.
No, Carlos Hernandez. It was not your right to do so, mate.
Oh, he threw himself into that corner. Obviously came out second best.
Yeah, but it didn't compromise Mikko Suokas' race. Sorry to interrupt you, but Suokas didn't... I hope he doesn't have damage, but he at least didn't spin.
Oh, it didn't half spin, caught that. He's still in 4th place, chasing down Falcon. I think Hernandez should have learnt from Falcon's defensive maneuvers that the inside line is the line to take into turn 1. He didn't defend at all and just let Suokas sail on through.
Yeah, that was obviously the top speed that was causing that, to be honest. But nevertheless, it happened how it happened. At this moment, I'm eager to see if Suokas sustained some damage out of that. Holmes obviously saw the whole thing and is thinking now, okay, I still have a chance here for a better position after he found himself in a tough battle earlier on. Holmes is flying towards the gearbox of Suokas at the moment.
Yeah, redemption time for Jonathan Holmes. He's got DRS. Suokas doesn't. We come to the final corner, braking nicely. And I think he might get a good run as well on the back of Mikko Suokas. He does. Yep. Oh, he runs wide on the exit. Oh, sorry, spin on the exit.
Remember, the faster than speed car has some great top speed in itself. Nah, it's just taking a look. Jonathan knew that wasn't the gap he should have dived into.
No, smart move of Jonathan Holmes. Wait till the next lap, because he didn't get a good run out of the last corner. So if he does again next lap, he might be able to pass Suokas and hopefully won't make the same mistake and run into the gravel like he did when he was trying to pass Falcon. So time for redemption, as I said, for Jonathan Holmes. Back into 4th, another chance at a podium for him.
Indeed, and as we look at the lap time chart, Adrian Falcon, his last 2 laps were 39.9 and 39.8. The lap times of Suokas were a bit confusing. since the crash, but he's putting up a steady 39.7s. So let's see what he can do. Can he still get some pressure up to the gearbox of Adrian Falcon? It's all but secured, the last podium spot.
So never secure at this rate. And I think I might mention, sorry to cut you off, the Filosa's past Matty and is 10 seconds behind Hernandez. I think Filosa's locked in pretty much in 8th, unless there's incidents in front.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Well, he made his move back to the top 10, so that's good for him. As Suokas now, not making a mistake in the penultimate corner, and now finds himself pressured by Jonathan Holmes, who's eager to take that spot, going back to the... Wow, look at that faster than speed car, pulling away from him, even with the DRS of Jonathan Holmes.
Both had DRS there, so remember, Fast and Speed has higher top speed. Holmes had no chance.
Indeed.
And now Suokas is right onto the back of Falcon, his Ghost Speed teammate. And, Suokas is Fast and Speed, my bad. But
doesn't matter.
Pressure's coming on. This is getting very entertaining. 6 laps left.
Indeed. Oh, and Holmes is finding himself with a big load of oversteer right there, but manages to keep the car on the road. And Carlos Hernandez is seen in this battle. He had his shot, he obviously made the dive, and it was an error of him. He won't disagree with that, I'm sure, but still locked into 7th place. As Suokas now is sliding around, Jonathan Holmes got the spot.
Yeah, I think Suokas lost that, so Holmes is back into where he was before
And
he made
Brewer
the mistake.
Brewer now in 6th position, eager to take that 5th spot away from Suokas.
Oh, he ran onto the runoff a little bit, but luckily he hasn't lost too much time. And Hernandez is not too far behind, but Brewer's lucky that he didn't spin or anything.
And this is all working in the favor of Adrian Falcon. If he can just keep the car on the road, he has the best shot here. He has the clean air, he has a reasonable gap of 1.5 seconds to Holmes. So Holmes won't have DRS and is currently under pressure of Suokas.
Yep, and let's not forget as well, Klopp has a 15-second lead, but Bojov's only got a 6-second gap between him and Falcon in 3rd, so it's not over for Bojov. Still has to work hard for these next 4 or 5 laps.
That's tough to say. I mean, Bosova will not lose 1 second the next 5 laps, I'm sure of that. Unless he makes a mistake, of course, and these cars are hard to drive. It's not arcade fun in here. Yeah.
I'll correct myself as I say that, because Bojov's pulled off another second from Falcon, so I think it might be, I'd have heard me and thought, no, I'm sealed second here.
So Holmes is still not giving up here, and why would he indeed? Obviously he can scratch himself behind his ears for the mistake he made earlier, but he is still in a podium, he's still contending for the podium.
And it's not easy for the driver. Your heart's beating, 4 laps left. You know this is your last chance. He's right onto the back of Falcon. Late break and a good exit. This could be his one and good chance.
Yeah, I think he will wait here and try it in the next corner, but he is closing in.
Oh, late break by Falcon. Terrific job. He's done a great job defending.
He's looking for the exit here, and this is the exit he wants. Now he can get onto the back of him. Falcon should go defensive, and he is going defensive, forcing Jonathan out of the backside line, and he's moving back a bit.
Contact, I think there was slight contact, and again, very close between them. But I think Holmes might have it this time.
Yeah,
he does.
It was his right, so I think it was a bit dirty of Falcon to go back there, but Jonathan was well awake and was able to avoid any form of contact, and fairly got to 3rd place.
Yes, very aggressive defending. It was a good job from Falcon.
And he's pulling away
instantly.
So Falcon has to worry about Suokas not catching him as well.
Yeah, important for Falcon not to put your head down. Holmes made a mistake, didn't put his head down. Now he's back to third. Probably the best he could have gone in this race. So he keep on pushing. That's what Falcon needs to do. He might still be able to hold on to fourth for the next few laps.
Yeah, and today, apart from the top three, Mr. Consistency is certainly Daniel Brewer, who started, I believe, in 11th or 12th spot. And hasn't done any major overtakes, but just kept his pace on going and finds himself now in 6th place with a lot of action still going on in front of him. So let's see where the consistency can take him.
Yeah, but when you talk about a lot of action, that's Mikko Svorka sliding around. We saw some smoke, so his tyre is definitely not holding up well. Is Brewer being patient? Is he going to pull off a move sometime soon? But first, Svorkas has to get rid of Falcon in front of him. And behind Brewer is Hernandez. Oh no, sorry, not Hernandez. That's a different car.
Hernandez is out of the battle indeed. Daniel now looking on the inside, and Svorkas going wide into turn 1. Now Daniel Brewer has a great moment of oversteer there.
Big slide.
A lot of wheel spin.
Behind them is Victor Ivanov. He's in 13th. I think he pitted lap 15. He's got some good pace, sticking onto them.
Yeah, he didn't make it on the. He had to start out of the pits, considering he pressed escape or something. He wasn't in the formation lap.
Yeah,
but Jonathan Holmes now steady in third position with a 2.5 second gap to Adrian Falcon. So. Great job to Twister Racing in general for claiming first and third place at this moment. Rens Klopp with a 17.4 second lead to second place Jorik Boshoven. Let's see what we can expect, let's see what will happen the upcoming laps. But at this moment the best battle on track is between Adrian Falcon and Mikko Svorkas. Daniel Brewer is still in there. But Svorkas is looking for a better exit next corner to take Falcon on the straight.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Fast and Speed's got some great straight line speed. And the run out of the last corner isn't the best.
Indeed.
But he is catching Falcon with the DRS.
The top speed of Faster Than Speed is amazing. And you can see this, he's launching himself up to the gearbox of Falcon. But there was still enough room. If he had had a better exit the last corner, he would definitely be able to make a move there. But there's still 2 laps to go, so let's see if the tension gets too much for Adrian.
Yep, and as you mentioned, Twister in first and third, GoSpeed second and fourth. I think GoSpeed will still improve their constructors' lead, but that will move Twister to second, I believe.
Yeah, as Carlos Hernandez made a slight move outside of the track, struggling on the tires. He has to be careful he doesn't fall victim to Sebastian Velosa for 7th spot. Now Rens Klopp going steady with an 18-second lead.
Sorry to cut off the battle for the lead, but Svorkas is now looking for his second chance on Falcon. Here's the penultimate corner, that blind braking zone. You don't know where the entry is, you don't know where the braking point is.
And Falcon missed this line there. Can Svorkas get an advantage out of this? Oh, he has the top speed here. He can dive on the inside. Will he make a move? They brake about the same time. It's all about the exit here now. Can you keep it together, Mikko? Oh, this is looking splendid for him. And, onside into the grass, but he manages to keep it together. Falcon on the inside, Svorkas on the outside. Falcon pushing him back to the outside, but he already passed. Here is the proof that the top speed on the straight is definitely in favor of Svorkas.
Yep, and Daniel Brewer is now the next who has to make the move. Rens Klopp is on his final lap, and a terrific race from Rens Klopp. So he's going to slowly coast with that 7 or 18 second lead over Jorik Boshoven, who's also had a great race in second place. Couldn't win like he did in Bahrain, but once again, solid result will extend that championship lead.
And that's all to do with the stunning performance of Rens Klopp here, dominating. I think it's fair to say in Sepang. The battle for 5th position is not yet over, but the podium looks secure if nothing weird happens the last few corners. But Daniel Brewer is thinking like it's a good result to finish 6th. But if that Adrian makes a weird move the upcoming corners, I go for it.
Yep, and that's Rens Klopp crosses the line. Great win for him, first of the season, and if only in Bahrain he could have won that. But that's a good positive move for him. Bojov's in 2nd. He's coming around the final corner now. Terrific result, as we said, extends that championship lead. Holmes is in 3rd.
Holmes is making the Twister party complete, and look how happy he is with the podium. Twister 1 and 3, Ghostspeed Jorrit Boshoven taking 2nd place, and what a fight it has been for the podium in general. I think if you would ask Rens Klopp, did you see anything of the action, he would say action. You know, what action? It was a pretty silent race, but behind them, I'm sure his teammate can confirm the battle they got. Jorrit Boshoven, steady race, and definitely a thumbs up for him. And what a battle it has been. Definitely not a boring race today.
No, terrific race, and I think Klopp's going to have to make sure that he saves that replay, because that was a great race from him. Twister 1st and 3rd with Jonathan Holmes. Another great race for him in 3rd place. He's 2nd in the Drivers' Championship now with that result.
Indeed, and Guglielmo Matti just crossing the line in 10th place, completing the top 10. Clayton Nelms in 9th place for the Venus Racing team. Sebastian Velosa with a hard tire start. He started on 9th, I believe, and he finished in 8th place. So that strategy had some promising moments, but didn't work out in his favor as he hoped it would have been. But definitely a good race for him. Carlos Fernandez in 7th, Daniel Brewer 6th, and Falcon in 5th, and Suokas in 4th. I think Suokas might be a little bit disappointing, because he should have known there was a chance here for a podium. But there's still a next chance in 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually 3 weeks. Actually, for the next race,
3 weeks.
I think it might be. I only found out yesterday it was 3 weeks. I was surprised, but I think as F1's in 2 weeks, we're not going to be racing in that weekend.
Certainly.
But who was your driver of the day? I liked Rens Klopp, but Jonathan Holmes as well. I wouldn't take it from him. Good drive. Yeah,
definitely a good drive for him. Twister looking strong, and Ghostspeed compared to the last race lost out a bit. It's fair to say. They had the driver. Let's see, Andrew Ford finishing in 12th position. James Sadler in 11th place, so missing out of the top 10 there. Still, they scored some good points with the pro racing team.
Yeah, and I believe Andrew Ford was replacing Bjorn Quickel for Ghostspeed Pro Engineering. The second team of Ghostspeed, but they extend their constructors lead. That's Ghostspeed Racing to Twister will take 2nd, and I think it's either between Netrex, Faster Than Speed might have taken 3rd, but we'll have to wait until that's calculated. Great racing once again. I thoroughly enjoyed that. There might have been a bit of good battles here and there. Good clean start, which was important, because we have a lot of battles to commentate on, which is important. But other than that, I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, and Rens Klopp is definitely giving a message here to the rest of the field, like I want to win this championship now. And the first race was just an unfortunate happening.
Yeah, unfortunate, but he's proving himself that he is the dominant force, and this championship isn't over. I mean, Bojov has that lead, but can Klopp close it down soon, hopefully, and hope you enjoyed that race a lot. Remember, the World Championship race is at 17 or 5 o'clock p.m. General time Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a cracking race. And I think the next race is in China. Hasn't been confirmed, but it is essentially almost been confirmed. So that's looking forward to that in 3 weeks' time, I assume.
Yeah, in 3 weeks, as you said then. Waiting on that confirmation, China would be a good value. For now, it's time to wrap up. We'd like to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show as we did, and we would like to see you at the next venue.
Yeah, thanks once again. Also, thanks to Jaakko, our cameraman, and Pro Series director Carlos Martin, and John Eric Saxon as well.
And Thrustmaster,
FSR
of course,
president.
for sponsoring.
Yes, Thrustmaster sponsors everyone, even Sam Jones, our broadcast director, and thank you for joining us. As Chris said, it's been a great round here, and lots of thank yous, of course. Edward for the graphics, Edward Maliki, terrific TV layout. I really enjoy watching it on YouTube. It makes it look a lot more sparkly and
Definitely
great. And can't wait to kick it off again in the next round of the cracking race here at Malaysia. I'm Jonny Simon. I'm alongside Chris de Jong, and going to say so long from the Sepang circuit. And can't wait to see you again
at the next venue.
For sure. See you guys later.